Welcome, everybody, to the Freedom to Speak Easy podcast, where there is no prohibition on the First Amendment here. And with me always is Mark Rizzoli, Anthony Diamron here. And as we enter into a very interesting time of the year, where a lot of people think we just got done with an election, and that's it. But that's really not it. This is where a lot of the moving and shaking's going on. And some interesting nationwide news here. Mark, you want to have you saw the news yet? I think it made Fox News, Mark.
Yeah, Republican Senator Sam Thompson is no longer a Republican. He's now a Democrat. He switched parties. He's going on his little national tour claiming to be getting a victim of age discrimination, which is unbelievable considering he's the guy who voted to table the nursing home investigation. So we have a senior citizen, excuse me, voting to table the nursing home investigation, which Phil Murphy's responsible for killing thousands of senior citizens.
That is, it's simply amazing. So people that don't know, Sam Thompson, what district is he in?
He's in the 12th district.
The 12th district. Okay. Sam, let's say this, he has worked outside of his district. I've seen him out there before. That's not in the 12th district. But he now switches to the Democrat Party. Is that correct, Mark?
Yes.
He switches to the Democrat Party. He spent his whole life as a Republican, okay? He switches to the Democrat Party. Why? Because he wanted it basically handed it to him, right? Am I correct? He did not want a primary opponent. He didn't want to be challenged for this seat. He thought he has earned the right to just be handed it to him. You know, he's going to go out. This is the last 4 years, as everybody keeps saying. And last time I checked, these politicians don't own these seats, Mark. It's as if that if Sam Thompson was gone tomorrow out of the Senate, nobody would know that we missed it. We wouldn't miss a beat. Is that correct?
Well, listen, what he fails to tell people, how he's been going around saying, I'm going to die in my seat. Well, the last time I checked, it wasn't his seat to die in. So, but listen, Sam Thompson, everybody needs to, know about Sam. First off, he's bought and paid for by the NJEA.
That he is.
They saved him the last time he was primaried. And, and when parents were reaching out to him, to get the schools reopened, I mean, he didn't respond back to them. So obviously that's the connection with the NJEA.
Right.
They donate to him, so therefore he, stands by them.
Mark, we were outside of the teachers union office about 2 years ago, this February. It was like 2 degrees outside. I keep on telling the story. Sam Thompson lives basically less than a mile away. Okay. Now I know it was freezing outside, but Mark was part of a rally. I was down there as well. And where we had a bunch of parents rallying outside the local teachers union office there in Old Bridge, and no Sam Thompson whatsoever. There's never Sam Thompson's never down on the Senate floor making a case for parents and parental rights. He never is. So what is he good at here? Besides taking trips to India with Murphy, okay, I know he does that a lot, but he's always pounding around with Murphy. He's invited Murphy to his wife's birthday party that one time. But I mean, I don't know what am I missing something here?
Well, listen, that was the problem, right? Parents were emailing him and some other, the assemblyman in Clifton. They ignored him. That's why the parents came to me.
Right.
And then we organized a protest to get the kids back into school. And then miraculously, a couple of weeks later, all of a sudden there was a plan in place to reopen the schools, which up until then there was no plan. It's not just that. When I put up a resolution as a councilman to have the homestead rebate senior tax freeze funded.
Absolutely great.
Sam Thompson didn't side with me on that. He remained silent.
No, he didn't.
Sam Thompson's about Sam Thompson.
Yes.
He's going around playing the victim now, and it's just an insult to anyone who actually knows about Sam Thompson.
Right.
Because Sam Thompson only does for Sam Thompson.
Yes.
He can see whatever he wants to. Is whatever's convenient for him, whatever suits him. And right now, this is all about him maintaining his power. The Middlesex County Democratic Organization will gladly take it. I mean, he's been working with Kevin McCabe anyway, so it's irrelevant. I mean, he's been voting with Phil Murphy. Listen, I know for a fact he threw a pastor out of his office because the pastor was asking him to stand up to the vaccine mandate. He even said, he told the pastor, you people who don't get vaccinated are bad. He threw a pregnant mother out of his office because she was demanding that he stand up to vaccine mandate.
What an absolute disgrace.
So, Sam does things when it's convenient for Sam, and Phil Murphy's an ally of his. But the whole system's set up to create people like Sam Thompson.
Right, it is.
Because that's why we need open primaries.
Absolutely.
This way, you know what? You have to go out and earn the vote. Not be handed. Everything's been handed to Sam Thompson.
Right. It has, and that brings me up to my next point. I always call Sam the Democrat in disguise. He really was a Democrat at heart. That's okay. Just join you should have joined the Democrat Party long time ago, Sam. And what you should have done was not wait until somebody actually challenges you for a legitimate challenger for the Senate seat. Anyways, but with that said, the way it works, though, folks. So those of you that might be interested in, if your town has a council race that's coming up, let's say in November, and you wanted to run for council and you're not politically connected, how do you go about doing it? Well, the way it works is we have a committee. Each party has a committee, all right, duly elected committee people, okay, 2 from each district. Here in Edison, we have, I believe, 72 districts, so there's 2 in each district. You need majority of them throughout your county. So if you were running for commissioner, you would need majority. Same thing for council. You need majority of your committee seats in that township. Same thing goes with Sam as well, and he needs the majority in his district. But it is set up to the problem is this, all right, is that I have major issues with the committee. The fact of there could be firemen, cops, teachers. I think that's a way for corruption to be easily had. Okay, but more importantly though, if you had an open primary system, if there was no Democrat line next to everybody's name, I am telling you right now, 3/4 of these people would probably be out of office, right, Mark? I would think.
Well, listen, being handed that line every year saves Sam Thompson. Sam
Yes.
Thompson knows it. That's why he let's face it, he's not doesn't want to get into a primary because he never had a campaign.
And he was a registered Republican, so it's not a Democrat. It's remove the party lines away from each and every single candidate. Base it on merit. If you base it just strictly on merit and name, I'm telling you, you would not have the party. Listen, you'll still have party influence. You can never get rid of that. Okay, but what will save most people just vote, as we all know, they vote down party line, Mark, and it's destroyed our state. It's completely destroyed the state.
Well, listen, obviously the situation with Sam is real simple. He changed parties because he wants to maintain power.
Yeah.
So now he's out there. The whole thing's going to be age discrimination, which, like I said earlier, Sam Thompson has no right to be claiming that because it's not true at all. Anybody who actually encounters Sam and challenges him, you'll realize what a nasty individual he is.
Right.
I know he put this challenge out about a 20-mile hike.
Yes.
Let me know, Sam. Let me know when you want to do it.
That's fine. Listen, Sam, we don't care about the 20-mile hike. How about show up to when
Right.
parents are asking you to show up and they're asking you to have their back and you actually throw them out of the office. I mean, I don't know what makes you think that you have the right to be handed something. Nevertheless, win this election. But we all know Sam's going to have a lot of money being pumped in here from the county. They're going to pump money in because you know why? It's in their best interest. Sam's one of them. All right. When you don't get challengers in that district, Sam basically he's had a free pass here for a very long time.
Right.
Now he gets a challenger, and guess what? He don't like it. Well, that's too damn bad, Sam. It's really too damn bad.
Listen, I think people should start asking why are we being told who to vote for by a couple of guys called the county chairs, right?
Unbelievable.
And just so you know, the Middlesex County chair, Rob Benjavania, he conveniently got a job in Monmouth County.
Absolutely.
At Hazlitt as a BA.
Absolutely.
How convenient, right? So now he acquiesces to the Monmouth County
Yep.
chair, who's he seems to be sticking his nose in every other county business.
You have that. You have the local chairs here that have jobs at the Board of Elections.
Right.
Okay. Board of Elections. You have Sylvia Engel, who's
Right.
chair of the Edison, who's I think second or third in command in the county. They all get jobs. How do you get those jobs in the county? How do you get jobs at the Board of Elections with pensions? Because you got to do something for the Democrats, because the Democrats control all those. McCabe, I believe, control.
Well, I can tell you how.
Let's go through.
I can tell you how most of them up there got the job there is through Sam Thompson.
You're right.
Matter
Absolutely.
of fact, Sam Thompson made reference to it in one of his interviews about getting people jobs and helping people out with like that. So,
Right. And when you roll out, nothing but, I don't know, just names on a ballot here, especially in Edison, there's usually, for the most part, once in a blue moon, we might get a legit candidate on the Republican side, but for the most part, they're begging for people just to get on the line, okay, just to put their name on the ballot. And why? Because that's what it is. They don't want legitimate candidacy. Plus, they don't fill all their seats, the committee seats, but they have their job, and if they want to keep that job with that pension, they better get in line, Mark. That's my opinion. That's just me speaking.
Well, I think they want puppets.
They do.
They don't
That's
want
exactly
fighters.
That's what they want.
Fighters need not apply. The average person goes to work every day. Have you noticed you don't see too many of them in Trenton, right?
No. So there is no opposition.
Right. Well, that's how you eliminate opposition with the lines.
Right. Exactly.
Because let's face it, if you're not on that line, you're going to have a difficult time fundraising.
Right. There's a few that are even on the Democrat side that are fighters that are going against that machine. Okay. Yeah. So there's some that are willing to roll up their sleeves, but there are few and far between. It's easy to sell out. It's easy to take the bait here. I'm not going to get into that, but listen, what we have here though in the Republican side, just on the Republican side, forget about the Democrats for now. The Republican side, there is no opposition because they don't want it to be an opposition. They don't want that because that disrupts their business, their own business, and they've been listen. They've sold a bag of goods. They were told to get in line, like Mark just said, and they have. And they have to obey by that. I mean, it's that simple, Mark. I mean, it really is.
Listen, this is going to be interesting going forward. Now, in between all the the Senate and Assembly elections, now you have local elections,
Right,
now local
council,
races now, which are going to be effective
Board of Ed.
with this. Yeah, listen, um, I have zero use for Sam Thompson. To me, when you fail to stand up for children, you don't deserve to be an elected
Unbelievable.
official. I mean,
I agree.
at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And, whether it's the mandates with the masks, the vaccines. Sam has been never anywhere to be found because he is allies with Phil Murphy.
Yep.
Sam, now that it's election time, Sam will appear, right?
Absolutely.
He'll put the show on. It's all theater with him. That
Gets a spark of energy now.
yeah, listen, Sam's not for Second Amendment. He'll vote that way when it comes close to going for re-election. But
Right.
Sam's a fraud.
Well, listen, he is what the Republicans always were told here in this area, a rock star. Now he's not even my senator, so I mean, but he would dabble into business here in Edison. I would see him out and about.
Right.
I mean, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And now, hey, you know what? He has every right to run. Absolutely. But the fact is that I was saying this to you before off air, but the fact that you could go from Republican for 30 years, then be upset with your own party because you don't get the line. The line's not handed to you, rather. Then you could just switch over to the other party and run in the other party. I mean, it's there should be a year waiting. If you switch parties and you want to run for office, there should be at least a year, and as that party holder there. That's what it should be.
I think Sam Thompson's the poster child for term limits. I mean,
absolutely.
Right there, right? He feels he's entitled to it. It was his right
Absolutely.
to be given the line.
Right.
Even though he hasn't done much of anything lately, he's very difficult to deal with. He doesn't like to be opposed. And and during his state's darkest time, Sam Thompson remained silent.
Right. He has.
Let's face it.
He really has.
The things that Phil Murphy is imposing on taxpayers, American citizens, is it's all about his ideology, and Sam's right along side by side with. That's why Phil Murphy was the first one to welcome him into the party.
Absolutely.
I believe he said, "Oh, the Democrat Party is a big tent. Welcome."
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? It's where have you basically where have you been? But he didn't have to go anywhere because he was just handed. It was handed to him for the most part for over these years. But I'm tired of it myself. And as far as school board's concerned, I talked about this on my last call last time. But I know Mark. I promote grassrooted parents who are out there who are upset what's going on in these districts, in your own specific districts, what's going on with curriculum, what's going on with radical sex curriculum specifically, okay? Whether or not it's mask mandates, whether or not it's, keeping the schools open, or whether or not it's just this remote learning and this new way of AI. And I'm telling you, it's scary stuff. There's Mark, I don't want to switch topics too fast here, but there's crazy sites out there, okay, for students and even teachers where you could actually get a whole lesson plan. A teacher could actually have their lesson plan made up for them by just typing in a couple words. It's incredible, and students can write a whole term paper. So you got it. I always say I like to go back to don't fix what's not broken. All right, don't reinvent the wheel. All right, there's reasons why we were on the top of the world stage when we in our world rankings in terms of education back in the 60s, back in the 50s. There was a reason why, and then boom, we had the Department of Education came in, and then the bureaucracy came in after that. So, but Mark, as before we wrap up here, I mean, I encourage school board candidates. I encourage people that are on both sides, good candidates, common sense candidates that are reasonable, rational human beings, thinking human beings, to run for office. And if you guys don't know if you guys want to understand how to do more of that, reach out to us. We will take you through the process. Tell us what town you live in, and we will show you. We'll tell you when these screening dates are and everything else. So, Mark.
Listen, just make sure every show I say, make sure you vote. Send back your vote, my mail.
Yep.
Vote early. Since the NJ GOP chairman's nowhere to be found, Bob Eugen.
Eugen.
Where's Bob? I might come out of retirement.
What about Bob?
That'll be the last case that I work as a detective. Find where the state GOP chairman is. He's nowhere to be found.
Ran the worst campaign.
But listen, get out there. Go vote. Go vote early. Use that. Get your vote by mails in. It's very important. You can't have change if you don't vote.
That's true. So before we wrap it up here, folks, we have a segment called The Last Call. Mark and I get 1 minute apiece to speak about any topic we want to speak about uninterrupted. And of course, as always, Mark, what say you?
Yeah, I just want to expose to the public, to the taxpayers, how Old Bridge Councilman John Murphy, who meeting after meeting has been harassing and threatening Councilwoman Anita Greenberg Belli. He's been slandering her with allegations of corruption while offering no proof. I mean, this last council meeting in Old Bridge, he threatened her. He threatened to get her and her partner. She's a veterinarian. I mean, it's just disgusting. Listen, John Murphy's a coward. I mean, to be targeting women the way he does, it's just unbelievable. And I really hope the councilwoman goes in and files a police report. And the Middlesex County prosecutor's office should get involved. He's on tape at a public meeting, live on local television and YouTube, threatening another council member of council. I mean, it's disgusting. And there has to be some type of legal action taken against him, because this is like there's a pattern of harassment towards the councilwoman. And John Murphy, for some strange reason, he thinks he's a tough guy when it comes to women, but there's just an act of a coward. He clearly has mental issues. I mean, that's why I've said in the past, elected officials, just like police officers and firemen, should be subjected to random drug testing and psychological.
Absolutely.
Listen, you're voting on millions of dollars of taxpayer money how to be
Absolutely.
used. And I mean, this guy is unfit for office. He's a disgrace up there. He's an embarrassment to the township of Old Bridge, and he should be removed immediately.
Absolutely, Mark. Absolutely. And I want to just circle back to what we spoke about in the last show, and regarding this young girl again who took her own life down in Berkeley, and she was brutally beaten. They did not notify law enforcement. They're in complete cover-up mode. Okay, and now you hear about the father getting harassed on social media. Somebody brought to my attention, is so disgraceful. And I don't want to hear from Phil Murphy. Okay, Phil Murphy is always a day late and a dollar short. Honestly, all right, it's nice that he said something. I get it, but you know what, Phil? We need discipline. That's what we need. We don't need any more crazy common sense. No, we need discipline. All right, there needs to be, these students need to be held accountable, and that's it. This poor girl took her life. I can only imagine what went through her mind in the very last seconds of her life. I could only imagine. Imagine her parents, her family. She probably had nowhere to go, nobody to talk to. She probably felt the school turned her back on. I mean, how do you not? She's probably thinking to herself that she didn't have. They weren't going to be held accountable. She probably was. I could only imagine. My heart breaks for her family. And the fact is that her dad's getting crap on social media, and he downplayed. He actually said, "Hey, this has nothing to do with race," and I don't think it does. But these students need to be expelled. They need to be held accountable, and their parents should be as well. I'm being serious. Okay. So, Phil, that parent right there is more than words. It needs more than words. All right. They need to start getting discipline. Discipline needs to be brought back in these schools. Okay. And that's it. All right. If a kid fails, stay back. Stay back. Not everybody passes. Everybody moves along. Because it's hurting our society now. It's really starting to hurt our society. But my heart breaks for that family again. And I heard that, and I said it infuriated me. It really did. So, but that's it. That's all we have for today, folks. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Mark Rizzoli, Anthony Diamond here. And follow us on all our social media pages, Facebook. We have our TikTok, which we're rolling out soon too. And we have our YouTube page. All right, Freedom to Speak Easy podcast, freedomtospeakeasy.com. And that's our website. And go check out our website as well. And we thank our sponsors as well. All right, everybody. For Mark and Anthony, talk to everybody later. Take care.
1, 2, 3 to the groove, come and dance with me. Swing out, jive in. Come on, honey, show me how you move it. Swing out, jive in. 1, 2, 3 to the groove, come and dance.